Hello, my name is John Wheatley. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Virtual Reality Time Machine Corporation. This video is going to be about a company that I worked on recently. And I should say this is not going to be an official Virtual Reality Time Machine Corporation company, meaning this is not one that we're going to be actively running. It was actually a gift that I worked on for my two best friends back in England, Tom and Steve. I think there's some interesting enough stuff to justify making a video about some of the cool stuff going on the back end. Because this was a gift, it created some interesting design constraints. The biggest one being that the whole thing had to be just completely 100% in every possible way automated. Otherwise, it wasn't going to be a very good gift. It wasn't going to be, otherwise you're just kind of giving someone a problem. So yeah, it had to be very completely 100% automated in every single way. And because it was a gift and not something that I would ever see a return on, it had to be something that was relatively inexpensive to get going. So that was an interesting sort of framework to operate within, and I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So here it is. This is it. This is the company. It's a novelty greeting card company. It's called Impressed or Horrified. Impressed or Horrified, by the way, is just sort of like an inside joke between me, Tom, and Steve. And it's a question that we like to ask each other. And it's surprising sometimes how close that line is between something being impressive or something being horrifying. So that's the story there. But yeah, this is it. This is the company. Different categories, different cards. Every card has its own product images. Pretty cool. And yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Every time an order comes in on the website, it's fulfilled automatically. Nothing has to happen. The company owners have to do absolutely nothing. The cards, by the way, have kind of a nihilistic sense of humor, a lot of them. They're oftentimes, well, they're basically not nice at all. There's a whole insults category, for example. So for sure, a niche market, and for sure not something that everybody would enjoy. But the plan was to try and just have some fun with this, and I knew it was something that Tom and Steve would enjoy. So that's why this thing exists. But yeah, everything's printed on demand. There's no stock sitting anywhere in a warehouse. New cards can be added super quickly, and then they're automatically added on the site for sale. Yeah, so it's just completely hands-off in every way. First of all, the whole thing runs off Shopify, which is pretty cool. And there's a Shopify app called Guten. And Guten is what powers the whole thing. So all I really did was sign up to Shopify, install Guten, and then if you look on the Guten website, there's a lot of different products that they have. Go to the products and pricing page. And every single one of these could very easily be turned into like a little business with Shopify. There is all sorts of stuff, like there's mugs here, there's different bags, there's acrylic trays, I'm not sure what that is, it looks like a little photo frame type thing, posters you could do a sort of beer mug brand, that could be kind of cool, beach towels, that could be a cool one, bath towels, bottle labels, you could do custom labels for events, that sort of thing, business cards might be kind of interesting, die cut stickers, you could start a little sticker company, dog beds, like a little dog bed company could be cool. Little flip-flop brand, hoodies. I'm just trying to find the one that I ended up using. Oh, and every single one of these, by the way, has the price that you pay underneath it. So let's say you wanted to start a magic mug company. Your cost would be $10, $10.31 to be precise. But every time an order comes in for a magic mug, it will cost you $10. But if you sell it for $20, you're making a nice little profit there. A nice tidy little profit. Magic mugs are interesting, actually. You can hide a message. This was something that I almost added to Impressed or Horrified. I thought it would be very on brand. And actually, I received one of these recently. And it's hilarious. I'll jump into VR and show you. Whoa! This is a gift from my girlfriend. Pretty amazing. So usually this just shows itself when you put hot coffee in it or something like that. You don't have to run it under a hot tap. But so what else is there? Notebook. You can do a little notebook company, an iPhone case company, pet bandana company. That'll be cool. Prints, just like a little, photo printing thing. Posters, they're cheap, 51 cents for a poster. Yoga mat, you can do a yoga mat company. This is what Impress the Horrified uses. So all you have to do is upload the designs for the cards in the way that they specify, and you have a product for sale in the store. The missing piece, though, is the product images. It's very easy to add a new product, but the thing that's kind of tricky is, okay, like, where do these images come from? Do you just hire models, do a photo shoot every single time? If you do, that's kind of a nightmare. It's kind of expensive. You would never do that. It would never be worth doing that, especially at the small scale this is always going to be. So I came up with what I think is a pretty cool system for generating these product images. So for example, this is the no special reason for this card, just like pure existence. That's the card we're going to use as an example. And here's the Photoshop file that shows the design of that card. And this is just sort of like a master file, by the way. There's all sorts of different cards in here. So to make a new one, all you have to do is just duplicate these layers and change the copy of the cards. Very simple. So this is the front of the card, this is the inside page of the card, this is the other inside page of the card, and this is the back. It's just nice to have everything in one file like this. And I think there's also even a guide section, front, inside left, which is usually blank, inside right, which is where the joke/signature page is, and the back. Fairly simple to design new cards, but using smart objects, something I've only learned about recently, you can nest one Photoshop file inside another Photoshop file, which is extremely useful. For example, this file is referenced inside another file I have multiple times. So these images are all referencing the same external file. So any changes made to this file reflect in this file. But the nice thing about this is you just have to update one file, and then every single one of these product images are generated automatically. So you never have to reshoot anything, you never have to hire models again, you never have to hire another photographer. You just have to do one photo shoot and then do some fiddling around in Photoshop, and you have everything. This section here is extremely useful, by the way. This bit here, this is how you add a new card in Goosen, by the way. Each of these images that you upload corresponds to each of these different files, which is extremely nice because all you have to do then is just worry about this one file, designing it in a way that makes sense, very visually, and then once you export everything, all of these individual files are generated, and then you just upload them to Gooten here. Very easy. Let me just give you a quick example, just so you can really visually see what I'm talking about. And then I'll draw a little mouse. So that's obviously the front of the card. And then in the middle I'm going to draw a little squiggle, like that. And in the back I'm going to draw my name. So anyway, once you save this file, it takes a second, but once it's done you can see the outcome, and it's pretty cool. So there's a little mouse I drew, there's a little squiggle I drew, and then it says John is cool on the back. And then all of these different images are generated. And where the back is visible, the back is shown. Where the inside is visible, the inside is shown. I'm going to put this file up for download, by the way, on vrtm.com. So head over there if you think this is interesting. And you can at the very least just kind of poke around and sort of see how it works. But this concept could be applied to any of the products that Gooten has in their product library. But yeah, the images turned out great. I thought it would be really funny if all of the models just looked absolutely overjoyed in every single one of the photos. And some of them just turned out to be hilarious. Open this card to die instantly. I don't know why, but I find that so funny. Existence is suffering. Look how happy she looks. I'm going to jump into VR and show you how these cards look up close. Okay, so here are the cards. This thing, by the way, I got from Amazon. I think it was like $50. I thought it would just be like a nice touch. Yeah, this is the one that we're looking at. So, no special reason for this card. Comes in a nice little envelope like this. Just like your existence. Pretty cool. And there's actually different material options in Goosen. And this is, I forget what it's called, but this is the most expensive one. I just thought it would be funny to have these like extremely nice, high quality cars and it just say stuff like, you know, HB, the laziest way to say happy birthday. This, I like this one. Spin through the pain. Obviously it's not quite as relevant as it once was. But, okay, I've already written that one apparently. That's Steve and that's Tom, if anyone was wondering. Oh, this is my favourite card. This is the OCD card. This was actually originally a mistake. When they sent it to me, it arrived damaged. So I was like, oh, that's annoying. Oh, wait, it's the OCD card. It makes perfect sense. So I've just fully embraced it. I kind of just messed it all up. I like put the plastic on the wrong way around, folded it all off center, and yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. But they turned out really cool. I'm really happy with how this whole thing turned out. I think it looks like a pretty legit looking company, and yeah, the whole thing's automated and it costs a few $100 to get going. And I think Tom and Steve really liked it too, which is the main thing. There's also one more thing which is kind of cool. It has its own theme tune, the Impressed the Horrified theme tune. Listen to this.
Impressed the Horrified, yeah. Impressed the Horrified, yeah. Our cards are very mean and we hope you won't get green. It's Impressed or Horrified, yeah. Come on, get the card, yeah. It's okay to be so awful, yeah. If you like the meanest jokes or you want your friend to joke, it's Impressed or Horrified, yeah.
So yeah, has its own theme tune. I got that from Fiverr.com, by the way. I think it cost $10, which I think it was worth every penny, personally. Oh yeah, there's one more thing. Like after doing a launch essentially of this thing, where we just emailed a few people and submitted it to Product Hunt, it actually started to do okay. It started to get a little bit of traction. It got 133 upvotes on Product Hunt, which is pretty awesome, and it got some press. Listen to this. Impressed the Horrified adds morbid insults to its greeting cards to make them less boring. A startup based in the UK has come up with a hilarious website that aims to take the arduous process of sending greeting cards and turn it into something you actually want to do and will get excited about. How exactly? By turning them into simple, offensive, and sometimes quite morbid cards, of course. Impressed the Horrified aims to make cool cards for cool people, and we think they've done a pretty good job. You can also request cards and browse by season. I know where I'll be getting my Christmas cards from this year. Brilliant.